In this video, we're going to take a closer look at the Maven POM. So the Maven POM, a few things I want to talk about it. It is known as the Maven POM or Project Object Model. That's what POM stands for. And the POM is an XML document, so pom.xml. And this is used to describe a Maven project. What's important is that it is an XML document and it must comply with the Maven 4.00.xsd. So if you're not familiar with XML, XSD is an XML schema document, and that schema effectively defines the rules of what can be in the document, the expected elements, the types of the elements. So it gets very, very detailed on what is in there. So you have a very well-structured document, kind of nearly strongly typed, so to speak, of what can be in there. And this POM is used to describe your build project. Now, POMs can also inherit from a parent POM. Also, when we get to multi-module projects, we'll see this in action as well, where we'll have a parent POM for the project, and then submodules will also inherit. We'll also be looking at Spring projects where Spring Boot especially utilizes this, where they publish a parent POM, and then your project will actually reference a remote POM from the Spring Boot repository, and it will bring that in. That's how you inherit a lot of things from Spring. And we'll be looking at that in the course and upcoming lecture. Now, because of all this inheritance that happens, one thing that's very important is what's known as the effective POM. So we'll be looking at the text of a POM, but at runtime, with inheritance happening from parent POMs, effectively your effective POM is the POM complete with everything that it inherited. And a quick command for this is Maven space help : effective POM, effective dash POM, and that will show you that. Now, I'm going to jump over to IntelliJ now, and we'll take a closer look at some things. Okay, I'm over in IntelliJ, and the first thing I want to do is, you can see here we have the XML schema right at the top, and what I can do is I can do a command and then just click on that, and IntelliJ is going to jump in, and you can see it's actually pulling it out of Maven jar and schemas. So this is on my local system, and you can see this is quite a large schema. Let me close this out. And you can see a lot of stuff is defined here. And I'm not going to go through every single element because we're going to be working with a lot of this. But if you're familiar with XML and XML schema, you can see this does go through and define exactly what can and cannot be in the POM itself. So this is very important. And your document here, your XML document, must adhere to the XML schema. Now, we also talked about the effective POM. So if I come into IntelliJ, I can go in under Maven and then show effective POM. And remember here, this is everything that we've defined, but now at runtime, this is our effective POM, and this is what's happening here. So we're getting a lot of stuff that's coming in. Like, we didn't define repositories, but here we have the Maven Central repository defined, plugin repositories defined. You can see that we have the build source directories, scripts, test directory. So all this is getting defined for us. So these are a lot of defaults that we're seeing. We usually follow these conventions so we don't have to set up this stuff. As well as we have plugins. You can see there's a Maven Clean plugin, the Resources plugin, Jar plugin. I'm not going to read off every one of these here for you, but we can see the actual effective POM is much different from what we defined. So we get a lot of stuff by default for us. And this is all just simply from the Hello World example that we had. You can see that we only defined a single dependency in there and a few properties, but the effective POM has a lot more stuff in it. And we're going to be looking at a lot of the plugins and the configuration of the plugins and whatnot. And just also, I want to reiterate one more time that your POM must follow this XML schema document. So the three all work together. So remember, you have your POM here. I don't have a parent POM in this case, but it does inherit properties from the Maven environment. So we get a number of defaults there, and that's what's driving the things into our effective POM. And as we progress through the course, we will look at more and more complex examples.